All right, now we are taking a look at the greatest common factor, otherwise known as the GCF. So we're asked to find the greatest common factor of two numbers, 26 and 49. And we could do this for two numbers, three numbers. Uh, Basically, what we're going to do, and there's different methods to doing this, but there was a video earlier for factoring or for finding factors. So we're going to start with finding the factors of 26, and then we're going to find the factors of 49, and we're going to see what the greatest one is that they have in common. So let's start with 26. 26, if we're listing all the factors of 26, we want to list out all of the numbers that we can multiply by other whole numbers. They have to be whole numbers to give us 26. So if I'm over here listing 26, one of the first combinations that I should always come up with is 1 and itself. So 26, we know that 1 times 26 gives me 26. So we've got two factors right off the bat, 1 and 26. And we start looking for other pairs like this that we can multiply to get 26. So we could also use 2, and let's see, 2 times 13 gives us 26. So 2 times 13 is 26, so that gave us two more factors, 2 and 13. So far we've got 4 factors for 26, and we keep trying. We would try 3, but there's no number that I can multiply 3 by to get 26, no whole number. I would try 4, no whole number I can multiply 4 by to get 26. Keep going. 5, nope, 5 times nothing, no whole number gives me 26. Keep going. 6, no, 7. Actually, none of them are going to work until I get to the next one in my sequence is going to be 13, but I've already got 13 and 2 written for my factors. So I have currently on the board written all of the factors of 26. So now I need to do the same thing for 49. So again, we always want to start off listing our factors with the 2 that we know we're always going to have. We're always going to have 1 and the number itself. 1 times 49 will give me 49. So that gives me 2 numbers right off the bat that I know are factors, and I start looking for other pairs. So I look, is 2 times anything, is that going to give me 49? No. What about 3 times something? Maybe 3 times a whole number will give me 49. Nope. 4. No whole number times 4 will give me 49. And I almost start to get a little bit discouraged here, but if I keep going, 5, 6, 7. Finally, 7 gives me a pair. 7 times 7 gives me 49. Now you could consider this 2 factors, but since the 7 repeats itself, I'm only going to list it once. That is it for the factors of 49. I've listed all of the factors for 49. I've listed all of the factors for 26. And now that I've done that, now I rely on this part right here. Greatest common. I am looking for the biggest factor that they have in common. And when I look at these numbers, these list of numbers, I'm a little bit discouraged because it doesn't seem like they have a whole lot in common, but you do notice that there is something that they have in common, and that is this 1. They both have a 1 factor. And any 2 numbers, whole numbers, if you list out the factors, you're always going to have 1 in that number, so you know that there is going to be a common factor, at least 1, such as in this case. But there's not any other ones. So there isn't any common factor that is bigger than 1. 1 is the only common factor. So since it is the only common factor, 1 is also the greatest common factor, since that's the only one that they share.